Tales of the Caballos by William H. White. Part 4, Chapter 6, Gallegos Hole. Gallegos Hole is a name given to a prominent natural opening on the eastern slope of the Caballo Mountains. Only one hole is visible from above, but in reality, there are 3 holes that disappear into the earth from that location. In the 1960s, a man by the name of Mike Gallegos had a cabin near this hole and several mineral claims in the surrounding public land. This was before the Bureau of Land Management had a significant presence in this area. Mike had good reason to believe that there was treasure buried nearby, and this was his real reason for being here. Mike was systematically searching the surrounding countryside for signs of what he believed to be a Spanish treasure trove. Mike Gallegos had 2 nephews who had come to spend the summer with their uncle. Because of their age, Mike gave them the run of the mountain, a very healthy, sensible thing to do at the time. Certainly there was no harm in letting the boys explore the area. At least this is what Mike thought. The 2 adventurers eventually located Gallegos Hole and began to explore it. The 2 carefully climbed down almost 60 feet when the cavern opened up horizontally into a large room. One of the youths began to feel sick and went no further, but his brother had no such symptoms and continued on into the tunnel. He called to his brother, saying that he could see piles of gold bars and stacked rifles. Then the sickness hit him as he attempted to make his way back to where his brother was waiting. The adventurous one got back to where his brother waited, then collapsed, overcome by what he had inhaled in the cavern. Being unable to climb out while carrying his brother, the first one scrambled for the surface and went for help. The brother, remaining below, was found dead when help finally arrived, and the other brother died about 6 months later after a lingering illness. As for Mike Gallegos, he was grief-stricken, and as a safety precaution, set off a charge to partially fill the cavern where the boy had died. As you would have guessed, he overdid the charge and filled the cavern up about 25 feet to the surface. The word soon got out about what the brothers had said about the hole. Mike was approached by an exploration group from California called Triangle Corp, who offered to clear the rubble and explore the cave with the hope of locating the gold bars and rifles the boys spoke of. Mike Gallegos agreed, and the Triangle Corp hired Jack Vance to head up the digging activities. The digging was going well, and they were approaching 45 feet when somebody complained of a headache. This was all that was needed to shut down the dig. Jack Vance immediately stopped the dig, and to my knowledge, no other diggings has been done since. Mike Gallegos abandoned the east side altogether and for a time worked in Pierce's cave, then disappeared from the mountain altogether. I believe this treasure to be there, but I also am convinced that it was extremely dangerous to extract. Most knowledgeable treasure hunters attribute the poisonous gas to cyanide that Geronimo was known to possess. I do not agree with this theory for 2 reasons. Soil contaminated with cyanide usually turns sickly reddish color, and there is none of that in or around Gallegos Hole. Secondly, a far more insidious gas could be present. which would more likely cause the symptoms experienced by the two brothers. Arsenic is a common substance found around gold bars, especially doré bars that contain only 65% pure gold, with the balance being non-ferrous metals. It is odorless and in a confined space, which could build up potency over time up to a lethal dose that could harm anybody that happened upon it. The solution is to simply purge the air because lethal doses of this gas take much time to accumulate. This site is hard to get to and harder to work, but for those hardy enough and with large enough huevos to risk the gas, it is there waiting for you. The end. Up next is Part 4, Chapter 7, Mission of the Seven Dolores. Thank you for listening, so don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to help us grow. Thank you, everybody.